Hello friends, welcome back to Data Center Guru Knowledge Platform, knowing A to Z of data center. Now, from session 1 to session 27, all those sessions are more related with knowledge around data center, life cycle, the skills, statutory requirements, all those aspects, whatever is required for data center I have tried to cover it in all those 27 sessions. So if you attend session 1 to 27 one by one, because all those sessions are linked, I am confident you will gain more than 50-60% of the data center knowledge, uh, and you can be able to apply it on day-to-day basis. Hope these sessions has been fruitful and actually you are applying those knowledge on day-to-day basis in your professional life. Today's session is more about not knowledge on the data center subject, but this is more about if somebody wants to get into the data center business, become a data center operator, then what he should do, what would be his approach, and why he should get into the data center. So today's topic is riding on data center growth wave. As you know, I will talk more about it. How do you leverage the data center growth wave in this scenario? This is a kind of lifetime opportunity which we have been witnessing. So before that, obviously the first session talks about this data center definition, but for the people who are new to this, because this is for session is for the people or the organizations who wants to leverage this data center growth wave and venture into the data center business. So for them, so data center is a specially designed cell or room or building where data is stored, processed and disseminated. And it provides safe, secure and conducive environment to the technological equipments like compute, storage and distribution of data. So this makes the entire data center building or different. Like you have got a building, if you are running as a hospital, it is one application. Similarly, you have got IT building office, it is another application. Industrial building and another application. Similarly, a data center is one of the application very critical for the business, and it requires certain different ways or different thing to build. So obviously, why we are seeing this buzz so much around data center, because technology has evolved from, if you see 1950 to now 2021, technology has evolved, and from a normal UNIVAC machine to now complete hybrid IT solutions, where it has become a completely technology driven business. Similarly, if you talk about the data center, how it has evolved from 1990, it is an IT room to server room to in 2000 you started building data centers, then it became third party or multi-tenant data center where they started providing co-location as a service. And then after 2013, the hyperscale, you started building extra large data centers, and now we are talking about building data center parks. So based on this technological evolution or revolution, the dependency of business on technology has also evolved. And till 2005, where the technology was acting as a support to the business, then after 2006 to 2012, it became business enablers, Then after 2013 to 2019, we're talking about business driver. They started driving the business, and now the technology is lifeline. You can't think about a business which is not dependent on the technology. So as this becomes like lifeline of the business, the criticality, the size, the scale, the requirement has also completely changed. So what customers are expecting from the data center nowadays, because all those uh, thing what you see on the slide, Cephest is the framework which Data Center Guru has developed, which covers the 360-degree view of objective of a data center. And as on when the size of the data centers are increasing, the and also dependency of the data center are increasing, these safest the modules are becoming more relevant and more critical. So what you expect from the data center is the data center need to be safe and secured. How to make it safe and secure? You need to develop measurable parameter in terms of technological deployment, in terms of day-to-day operational processes. Similarly, second is it has to be continuously available. Data center cannot withstand interruptions. So the entire infrastructure has to be designed and built accordingly to support this continuous availability. And also the entire operations, that means the entire life cycle has to be made in such a way that to make continuously available. Similarly, F for flexibility, adaptability. So your data center has to be flexible enough to take care of the changes, what you expect from the business technology, because once you build the data center, which lasts for around 20 years and plus. So all those features need to be built in. Efficient, because as and when the size of the data centers are increasing more and more, this efficiency is becoming more relevant, because you are land up paying more if your data centers are not efficient. Similarly, environmental and operational sustainabilities are becoming more important. Environmental sustainability is becoming more important because you are generating more carbon footprint, because you are consuming more and more power in the data center. And operational sustainability is required because it is not only what you build the data center, but how you sustain the same level of reliability and performance across the lifespan is very, very important. So that's how this safest approach comes into the picture, and all the customers or the data center consumers, they look at all those aspects to be met in the data center requirement. So what is driving this data center demand? So data center demands are driven by multiple factors, and this demand is driven globally, but if you see in India, the demand is further, it has got further boost of growth. And what are those demand factor is Digital India, you might have seen. The government is driving Digital India, UPI, e-governance, right? So a huge amount of data is generated due to this. Then we are talking about proactive government policies around that. Internet of Things, where you are connecting more and more devices on the network, and you are trying to create a machine-to-machine communication. You are trying to use artificial intelligence or machine learning as an application, which also require a lot of compute and storage. Similarly, growing IT sector, ITIC, TTS sector, increase in adoption of cloud players. Then you have got national e-government policy. Also, government has started recognizing as a data center as a different asset class or the infrastructure status. So, hyperscalers are also, and it is more associated with your cloud services, and also the e-governance and e-commerce kind of demand. OTT demands are also coming. OTT platforms are growing a lot. So all those factors are actually driving the demand. And if you segregate how the overall demand is generated, if you talk about adoption of 5G Internet of Things, we are talking about around greater than 500 megawatt data center requirement. Smart cities demands more than 500 megawatt. Data localization policy, which is one of the major uh, decision which policy is being made by the government, which is lying in the Joint Parliamentary Committee. So once that is there, that means each and every data or what specific data has to be in India, which is currently not, is the policy. So our data are also lying in other part of the world, and once this policy comes out, then that will drive another big demand. I'm talking about around more than 1000 megawatt. Similarly, we are talking about another demand which is more associated with the cloud related stuff, digitization related stuff, which is going to consume another 500. So we are talking about around 2500 megawatt data center in India. Now let us look at how is the market condition today. And this slide talks about what is already the current installed capacity for the data center in different cities of India, and what is the capacity which is under execution or implementation, and the this brownish cell what you see here, what are the capacity which still need to be built, designed and built. So if you talk about this, so this is mapped overall on 3000 megawatt, and the center of the entire data center, if you see here, is Mumbai, where installed capacity is 320, and you work in progress is around 620, and another 600 megawatt is expected to come. Similarly, then if you see is next Hyderabad and Chennai in terms of upcoming destination, and then Delhi NCR is another upcoming destination for the data center, which is being built, and also in progress. Big lot of our data centers are in execution, and we have a potential to build a lot of capacity in Delhi NCR. So, in nutshell, if you see, we are expected to build around 80 plus data centers within India by 2025. Average DC side is approximately 25 megawatt. Average per phase size, that means first phase of the data center you want to build minimum 5 megawatt, and then so if you divide this, around 15 to 20 data centers would be built every year. We are expecting around 20 new ventures, new businesses minimum to come into to meet this demand, because whatever existing place we have, they may not be able to meet all those demands which is being created. To encash that, a lot of new players are also, whether players coming from outside India or in India itself, a lot of players are venturing into and building the data centers. So what we are seeing is around 4 new players every year, which we are witnessing, who are coming and venturing into the data center business. So why? Why so much of buzz? Why people are so much interested in this business? So few broader points I have brought to on for your notice is huge business potential, and as I said, it is a sustainable growth, because till the time the technology is dependent on silicon chips, it requires conditioned power and controlled environment, and that actually demands for data center buildings. So I don't see till now there is any replacement for silicon chips, and all those technologies are actually built on that, and that's how the data center demand is going to go. Application of the technologies we have just started. Still we have to see IoTs, still we have to see machine to machine communication, we still have to see AI and machine learning applications. Huge still to explore the technological applications. So this is a sustained growth. It is not something which is a spike which we witness. Long-term business commitment. So these data centers are not like unlike other stuff. These are like lifeline customers, business lifeline customer is putting on your data center. And migration of data center is not easy. It's a very critical, time consuming and very risky affair. So customer once they get into you with you, it's like a long-term commitment and engagement they want to make. Recurring revenue. So as the engagements are long-term, so you have already you have a recurring revenue till the engagement is there on a month-to-month basis, and then faster return on investments as the demand is high, and so it is easy to reach break even very fast. Even 2 to 3 years you can reach break even if you are able to move fast in the deployment and able to prove yourself with your customer with confidence. So challenges. So we must know the challenges before we jump into the water, so that you know the challenges and then you are prepared to meet those challenges, overcome those challenges. So first, it is a high capex and opex intensive business like telco. So we need to have deep pocket to invest and sustain. Second, it is business critical. So your customers are putting their business critical application in your data center, and obviously, so they will look at you from all perspective, and then only they will decide to commit with you. Highly complex to design, build, and operate data center because it is business critical. And as I explained in my previous sessions, data center is a combination of multiple building blocks, which requires each and every building block requires subject matter expertise, and over and above, you need integration expertise, which will actually deliver the performance. So it is highly complex and need real experts with you to do this job. Whether you outsource it, so wherever you are outsourcing, you need to make sure that that partner or that organization has got ability to do that job and references. Demand for high domain expertise in this case. In industry, there are already lack of skilled staff because of high demand in this sector. Customer expectations are very high, so you need to meet those expectations, and you need to prove yourself not only with on the paper but real thing what you are going to build, what you have built, what kind of competency, what kind of people you have got, and all this stuff. Highly complex market. So it's not like there are different kind of customers. They may buy one rack also, they may buy the entire building itself. There are different segments in the data center market itself. And then there are very high risk and liabilities. So there are a lot of statutory requirements you need to meet, and as it is highly capex and opex intensive, if you are not able to break through, if you are not able to convince your customers, you carry high risk in this particular business. So how do we overcome the challenges? So overcome the challenges is first, you need to have a structured approach. And a structured approach starts with assessment, where you assess your organization itself to find out what are the strength and weakness organization has got from all perspectives. Because you will be leveraging your organizational strength, you would be tweaking the people, the processes, and the requirement for your organization, the finances, etc. So The entire 360-degree view of assessment is required so that the clarity on organization level is there, because that will decide your next step. If you're not able to assess your organization very well, analyze it very well, then it becomes very, because you may choose directions which is not fit for you. Next is analysis. So once you have all the data you collected during the assessment phase, you need to analyze it, and then based on that analysis, the assessment is very thorough. I think I have a separate, I can carry a separate session if required, because there are multiple parameters which need to be assessed, including doing a market research. Then based on the analysis and objectives, whatever you set, you need to prepare the strategy to achieve those objectives. And then you need to break the strategy into action plan, and then you need to implement that action plan to achieve the result. So that's how it goes as a cycle, as approach. It's a very 30,000 feet above the ground level. If you are interested, we can run a separate presentation to explain how it goes. Then what are the elements which you need to look into? Because this is a complete business which we are going to look at. So elements are many. You need to talk about what is your business objective, what you expect from this business. You can define. Organization details, I explained to you. Market research, you have to do, understand the market, assess the competition, assess what are the services you can be able to learn, what are the services demand which is there from the market, what are the finances which you have, what are the finances which is required, what are the compliances required for the data center, what kind of resources do you need to run the business from start to end at different stages of your business. What are the different standards you may have to follow in the data center? What are the liability you carry? What are the risks? And categorization as to the risks are also very, very important, so that you manage the risk very well. What opportunity you have in the data center. So all those detailings which you have to do, and obviously it requires detailed expertise, knowledge which people require, and who can be able to bring all those details and transparency, running through entire life cycle to bring you clarity and confidence that yes, I would be successful. Because anybody venturing into this data center wants to be successful. How you would be successful is something to be decided by your approach, your competency, your knowledge, your experience, how you look at the things, how you analyze, how you plan, and how you implement. So for this, we have a service also. So Data Center Guru can help you guys in this particular stuff. And we have a service called Data Center Advisory Services, where we help you identify what kind of data center you should go for, which is fits most for your organization, and also act as a key in terms of how do you get the return from the investment what you make here, and it is a kind of assured return. So how do you get it? So what kind of service? I mean, all those details what I talked about in my previous slide, everything we run and bring you all those details and the clarity which is required for this business, which is required for this, for you to be successful in this business. So what we bring on the table to you is like, this is the objective you set. We make step by step thing for you to reach here. We bring clarity on the business and market. We bring clarity on the capex and opex. How much capex requirement now, how much at the different stages, what will be the opex and expenses requirement, what would be the return on investment against what kind of services. All those details we clarity on the offerings. We define the offering for you. We even prepare the presentation of the offering presentation which you would be making to your end customers. Help you uh, prepare the service catalogs, etc. Bring clarity to the target market and its approach. How you are going to address your target market and get business from. Clarity on resources to achieve. What kind of resources you need, what resources you can leverage, what resources you need to tweak and make them leveraged, and what resources you need to acquire to meet your objective. Clarity on expansion and growth. You may not have to invest everything right away. You may have to start with X and then you make your business scalable. So as on when you start getting your business, that way you start your investing. So your return on investment go in sync. Clarity on sales and marketing. So we also help you in terms of how your sales organizations are, what kind of people, and enabling those sales to be successful in the market. Also, what kind of marketing you should do to create an awareness, create mind share, create pull in the market and into your business. So this is a very unique offering which we are providing as a part of data center advisory services. You may not be able to get, and if you are interested, you please reach out to me on this email ID, or you can visit our website datacenterguru.in, and I would be really obliged to support if you need, or you can put your comments in the YouTube channel itself, and I will reach out to you and guide you, support you, and make sure you are successful in this business. So with this, I would like to thank you, patience watching this, and I would like you to go through in detail. You leverage this knowledge, and wherever you feel you seek our support, we would be pleased, we would be obliged to support you. Thanks. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.